Hello, and welcome back, subscribers and new viewers, to another Sunday Spit Paint. Today, I'm going to be talking very briefly about Hazbin Hotel, my thoughts about the characters, the overall show so far, my favorite songs, and just general thoughts here and there, because I'm going to be drawing my character, Stencilfox, of what if I was in the Hazbin Hotel world, and there is going to be some brief kind of crossing lore and spoilers ahead. I kind of wanted to just share stuff and see what other people think about my thoughts on things, because there are so many alternate universe comics that have already been spitballed out even before this first season came out based on just the pilot alone, and I love every single thing that I have seen thus far, and recently have deep dived into this super phenomenal little audio drama documentary thingamabob, whatever you want to call it, based on Serpentius and Arachnus, who hasn't even shown up in the world yet, but I like these weird AU universes, if it wasn't obvious enough based on my Undertale deep dives into multiple different alternate universes, including creating my own. It's just fascinating what can be created just based on a few little bits and bobs, and I know that some people also really don't like this, because I'm one of those people who's very confused by the amount of artwork that Alistair has. It's interesting that people are leaning more towards a cutesy platonic kind of thing with Husk and Angel Dust, who would happily go with each other, because it's stated that Angel and Husk would absolutely be able to do those kinds of things together. Husk isn't the same way as Alistair. Yeah, people seem to really enjoy twisting Alistair's personality and making him canonically just do things that he normally wouldn't, but at the same time, I can't judge too harshly, because I'm also one of those people who sims so for Lucifer. And he's married, I think, but also they separated, but also just it's confusing and frustrating, and I enjoy conflict, I like drama, I like all that stuff, so it's interesting and fascinating to see what has been created on the world, excuse me, I can't speak properly, my brain is going a million miles an hour, because there's a lot to take in just from 8 episodes, over a dozen characters, and a bunch of stuff that I've seen a lot of people create based off of this. My brain is just fixated on Hazbin Hotel and Hell of a Boss, and I'm also one of those people who's itching to see what happens with Hell of a Boss soon, with the episodes with Blitzo and Stolas. I want to cry. I love relationship drama-y kind of things that are well planned out, and a lot of this stuff. I also, I'm just going to say this because this was meant to be saved for another video, but I really enjoy Fizz and Asmodeus even more than I initially thought I would. The same thing with leaning more towards the fact that I am an absolute sucker for Angel and Husk being together, even if it's platonical, because it's super adorable, because I feel like Husk would be the support that Angel needs, and wouldn't be seeing Angel for Angel, but would be seeing him for Anthony, for himself, for not needing to be putting up any masks of emotion, which I can relate to an extent far greater than I thought I would. I was bawling my eyeballs out and wanted to rip Valentino's wings off for what he did to poor Angel throughout the entirety of it. The song Poison made me I love the music, the song and all of that, but it breaks my heart with it. And also Loser Baby made me sob a little bit, because it's like best friend kind of thing. You cheer them up by telling them how stupid they are, but they're stupid together. And then also making me sob even further with Daddy Issues is the More Than Anything song. I wasn't prepared for that song at all. At all. Lucifer has become my favorite character, and I don't think any other character can top the charts thus far, if it wasn't evident by my TikToks. Shameless self-plug. Go check out my TikTok if you want to see more of my artwork and streams and stuff, where you can talk to me sometimes when I stream outside of my videos, because I ramble about a bunch of stuff on there, and it's unscripted, and I share a lot of memes and fan artwork on there that I don't share on YouTube, because I just like to create a few things based on short little songs or characters that just pop into my brain. But that aside, let's talk about some of these characters. I like Charlie. She's interesting. She reminds me of myself, caring more about other people's problems than my own to deal with. Vaggie is a super awesome, supportive girlfriend, and I love her so much. And the fact that she's a fallen angel is fascinating to me, because I didn't actually catch that at first. It should have been obvious. Angelic spear, X over her eye, but I was more focused on the others around the storyline and everything, and it took me a second to register the exorcists and all of that, being that Adam is the only guy who's surrounded by a bunch of girls that all kind of seem to be veering towards just looking like Eve, and I thought Lute was Eve. I genuinely thought it was going to be Adam with Eve, but since we haven't seen her yet, I'm confused. I'm all up for plot twists and stuff, because I genuinely don't know if at the end when we saw Lilith, if that really was her, because that leaves other questions. Same thing with questions of the situation with Husk and Alistair, and the fact that Alistair owns Husk's soul, and he used to be an overlord, and the situation makes me feel very curious if a overlord can lose their status and gain it back, because that would be interesting. But also other characters that we don't get to see too much of, like Nifty and Serpentius, which has also become one of my favorite characters. He is such a adorable villain with the way that he interacts, where he looks like the kind of villain who would stab you in the stomach and then apologize, bandage you up, and care for you afterwards and get you a spot of tea because he feels bad and he wants to come back and stab you again a week later. That's the dynamic I got from him, and I don't know if that's as accurate as I can get it. There's also the cutesy little egg boys and Razzle and Dazzle. We got Kiki and Fat Nuggets and all these little characters that just make me super happy. And although I'm not as big of a fan of them, we have characters like Cherry Bomb and Rosie. They're nice characters. And then we have Mimsy. She's there. She's just there. I don't have any thoughts about it. We have Velvet and Vox and Valentino, who bothers me to no end. I even made a little TikTok short of him getting his rings whipped off by Osmodius, because it bothers me so much that he is such an awful, aside from when he becomes a literal moth who gets attracted to a light screen of Vox, he bothers me how he can be so genuinely real world evil, not even like cartoony, evil villain who blows up castles, and he genuinely disturbs me for the things that he did to poor Angel. And now the music videos make sense with some of the things that were on screen that were shown, and the foreshadows of a lot of different things, and some of the things in the background. And hearing Angel's voice break down when he said yes, Valentino, made me sob, because that was Angel speaking as Anthony, like his proper human self, not a personified persona that he puts on for Val. He wasn't talking in any sort of masking way. He was genuinely breaking down and being himself in those moments, and it makes me feel really worried for Angel's mental state as the show goes on further, if nothing can be done about Valentino, because we have seen, based on Alistair, that overlords can be taken down. They can be removed from their status of power and brought to their knees, kind of like how poor Husk is just kind of a former shell of himself, but he's still kicking. Although I don't necessarily know if that can happen to all of them, but I'm also slightly itching more towards the rivalries of characters like Vox and Alistair. I want to know what happened to them. I want to know if they used to be best friends and business partners, and why he almost lost to him, because I want to know more about that. And the fact that we also get to see characters even like Alistair, who seem to be unbreakable, break down in that one scene after the big old fight with the Exorcist, where he's just I'm not dying for you guys, I'm still living, that's not how my story ends. And then the scene with him trying to make a deal with Charlie, and the stitches on his mouth, makes me wonder if someone else who does have his soul contracted is of a much higher status akin to Lucifer or Lilith. Now, I know there's a theory that Lilith or even Eve owns his soul, and that's part of the whole, weird deal of, why he suddenly shows up and he's interested and invested in helping, but I feel like it might be of his own evil volitions, not that he's being forced to do so, just because it adds more conflict of interest. Same thing also with the fact that I like the idea that there is also unseen villains, which, if you guys may have noticed, there are eyeballs everywhere around the world, on the walls, on the floor, and in the background, there are eyeballs, and that might be a part of an even bigger villain character that come along later on in the seasons. I don't remember the name of it, but I know that the character has a name, and there's all kinds of stuff to it. There's a lot that I want to talk about in a short period of time, and this video could go on for an hour of me rambling, so if anybody wants a future live stream, or if you want to join me on TikTok and hear my thoughts about this kind of stuff in more detail, in a less scripted format, let me know, because I'd be more than happy to share more about that. But so I'm not going all over the place for this, a few of the other things that I thought I would share is the fact that we haven't seen characters like Angel's brother and sister in more detail, like Arachnis and Molly, and thanks to a side comic story dub that I've been watching, Arachnis and Serpentius have become my two favorite characters, and even though I know they don't meet with each other, and I know this is never going to be canon because, again, Serpentius is in love with Cherry Bomb, I love the spicy drama of Serpentis and Arachnus with each other, same as I do with Angel Dust and Husk. I love the drama of an angry character with a character that has, like, a soft spot for the other one, and it's just Characters that are good opposites for each other is one of my favorite ship dynamics. A character that has been through some shit, puts their walls up, and only breaks it down for the person who is sort of, this is gonna sound really mean, but it fits well for Serpentis. Too stupid, but too passionate to understand these kinds of things and persists onward. And maybe that's also coming from a personal place for me, because of the way that I care about my husband and some other things that I don't want to go on in this video into detail about, but it's just something that persistence of being patient for somebody when they've gone through so much is just something that I genuinely have a soft spot for. Same thing also with the fact that, again, characters like Lucifer, I feel bad for him. He's genuinely trying, and I thought that I would hate him, but I felt more of a connection for the fact that, like, again, like I said, his song more than anything made me cry my eyeballs out, because personal daddy issues, if that wasn't obvious enough by a few of my previous videos. But I overall just, like I said, I enjoy everything about this, but I have my nitpicks here and there. There are some things, like with the fact that the exorcists and the angels and all these things are such hypocrites and can get away with these kinds of things, but that is part of the point. And also the way that everything is flip-flopped. I like it, because I'm one of those people who absolutely agrees that angels are terrifying and disturbing in the way that they are constantly just in this sort of perfect angelic state, but it also kind of makes me think I wouldn't want to be in heaven. I would happily be among all the other sinners if it means that I get to be all myself, if that makes sense. I like drinking alcohol from time to time, but I wouldn't be binge drinking it, and I wouldn't imagine myself having smokes because I'm allergic to them, or drinking with drugs or any of those things, because it's too far. It's one of those things that I can't see myself being a perfect little angel, but also couldn't see myself going haywire with the demon stuff. So it was really difficult for me to make my character for this kind of hypothetical, because I was thinking too much in a grounded reality of the real world. So there might be some stuff that I work on to expand for future stuff, but hypothetical me would probably be going out and having a large portion of chaos and fun with the characters if I was slapped into the Hazbin Hotel universe. I also kind of want to make, because I've seen, like I said, a fan comic with Arachnus and Serpentis and a few other characters, like I'll make some fan art for that hopefully in the near future, because I've been listening to an audio drama and want to learn more about the story before I make fan artwork, but I want to create tons of alternate little mini ideas, and even canon mixed with fan and character stuff, just because it's interesting and adds some more stuff while waiting for the actual canonical show stuff, because I think genuinely, like what has been seen with Undertale, fandoms and alternate universes can be created and extend on well past their initial stuff, and it's also something that I can enjoy both the original shows and all the stuff that people create on the sidelines. It's something of why I create what I'm creating with all these sketches and designs and processes, because it genuinely helps me get a creative flow going for my own stuff, because it makes me think, I didn't even think about that, this person has thought about it, and it gives me an extra extended branch to things. And I don't know, I enjoy this show. It's genuinely been like a guilty pleasure and a happy kind of moment of just like, it's an Achilles heel for me. If somebody plays some of the songs for it, they show me the characters, they show me a comic, any of it, I don't care if it's somebody who has like just made a quick 5-minute comic or a full 30-minute little like animated short for them, you know, fan stuff. Those kinds of things just make me feel happy, and I'm happy with this, and I hope that you guys have enjoyed my spitballing thoughts on things, and I'm sure there's more that I'll be sharing about this in future, but expect some fan artwork of some of the characters, because I meant to do Valentine's ships for them, but I only got around to making a few TikTok shorts, so if you want to see some of those, go check them out, and thank you so much for your time, and I hope that you guys are having a awesome day. That's all the time that we have for today. Thank you so very much. If you have not already, don't forget to leave some likes and comments and subscribe to join the Subscribblers squad. In the meantime, don't forget to check out some of my playlists, and if you would like any fan artwork featured at the end of the video in the Subscribblers gallery, tag me in it. I would love to see what you guys make, and if you'd like to support my works and see more, check out my card link below, especially for the patron exclusive rewards. £2 a month, the Fennec Fox tier gets you access to secret sketches and artwork early. The Arctic Foxes, for £5 a month, you get exclusive access to videos and webtoons pages early, and the Red Foxes have the opportunity to be featured as a background character or a commission instead, and your name read out at the end of the videos just like this. Thank you so much to Frankie Jr. 13 and Spot Draws. Stay possum, Subscribblers, and I'll see you real soon.